And welcome inside to the first podcast since a speaker was elected. That speaker is Kevin McCarthy, surviving 15 rounds. But this 5-minute fix is actually the debut of the Alex Garrett Podcast Network. That's right. It's not just a podcasting channel. It's a network because we've got networks of friends and family that support this podcast. And I want to give you a brief part of my conversation with Ray Negron about George Steinbrenner and the impact Mr. Steinbrenner had on my life. And Ray clued me into something that I had never known up until this very conversation today in honor of the 50th anniversary of George Steinbrenner buying the New York Yankees in 1973, January 3rd, 1973. He bought him for, guess what, $10 million and made him a $6 billion franchise. But underneath that, he had a heart. And Ray Negron talked about it with me on this edition of the 5-Minute Fix. And then tomorrow, stay tuned for the entire conversation with Yankee advisor Ray Negron. What is your role 50 years later with the Yankees? Give us a little clarity on that.
I work under Randy Levine, our team president, and I try to assist in any way that I can help him and the New York Yankees. For me, my most significant role as the community consultant is that I go to schools and hospitals, and I bring players with me. I recently had Anthony Volpe at one place, and I had Harrison Bader at another place, and in essence, try to take a child who's not maybe smiling that day because A, he doesn't have a father, B, he might have cancer, C, he might have a situation where he's handicapped, and we try to make them feel like they are somebody. They are somebody. They count in this world.
And you know what? That is what Mr. Steinbrenner embodied off the field and in his own suite. I mean, when he had a whole collection of people up there that were either hosts on television or just regular kids and regular people, I mean, he brought everybody in and he made everyone feel worth it.
You actually helped to educate George Steinbrenner, and you have no idea how. Do you?
I don't.
When he first met you and you were a young boy, he saw you with one leg. And he said to himself, and later to me, this poor boy, he has a handicap. Let's be good to him. And later on, he found out that you didn't have a handicap. He found out that you were stronger than most. He found out that we were the ones with the handicap because we were looking at you as handicapped and you were stronger than us. You felt like, hey, I can be here. I can do here. I don't have to be ashamed that I only have one leg. And you, in turn, educated him. And I cry right now because you may have given him his strongest education. And I'm proud to call you my friend because you helped my strongest friend. And I will always be a disciple of George Steinbrenner. And I will always be proud to call you my friend because you educated George Steinbrenner.
I don't know what to say, but that is really special. And, you know, he fired me once, of course, jokingly, but he got to know I was kind of all over the place. And there were a lot of moments that I remember like they were yesterday. And again, he made it so seamless. And you did too, Ray. So thank you both for welcoming me into that world. It still gives me chills thinking about it years later. And we'll have more with Ray Negron tomorrow on the Alex Garrett Podcast Network.